All right, Shalom. I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Racha HaKodash. Even though I'm not part of any camps or anything like that, I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. And this is Second Esdras, chapter 16, and these are the things that is coming. You know what I'm saying? You probably heard about it before, from the Great Millstone camps, but let's hear it again. You know, you got to keep hearing these things so you can prepare yourself for it. All right. So, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. So Babylon is the United States. That's the mystery name. You know, that's the secret in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Babylon is the USA. All right. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it had begun to burn? So this is the Most High speaking through Ezra the prophet about pretty much he flexing his power right here to let you know whatever he sent upon you, nobody can turn it back away from him. Only he can take back whatever he sends. You know, the Most High is the creator of everything. All creation is his. So you can't stop something that he sent out. All right. So may one turn the this is verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. And there's no way, you know. I got a verse for that, by the way. So off of verse 7 that I just read, you know what else is like a strong archer that the arrow you can't return back to it? The Lord's word. Check this out. Um, Isaiah 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it. So the Lord is like a strong archer, you know what I'm saying? And his word is like a strong archer, okay? When the Lord speaks something, it don't return back to him void, by the way, okay? So let's go back real quick. All right, so verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? You know, he the only one, like I said, the Most High is in charge of everything. He the only one that can send the plagues back to where they came from because he created it. Even if a man created the plague, the Most High still ordained that for that to happen. So any plagues that you haven't heard about in centuries or in years, the Most High allowed it to go away. But let me continue to read, all right? Um, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? If the Most High send a fire, who is able to stop that? You get the gist of it. When the Most High sends something forth, can't nobody deflect it back. It is what it is. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Even if you the toughest, man, you could be the toughest person on the planet. If a lightning bolt strike next to you, your ass gonna jump and your heart gonna start racing. You gonna grab your chest. So pretty much what he's saying, if you scared of the lightning and the thunder, you know you should be scared of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's his power at the end of the day. You know. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord and before the glory of his power. You know, that's just a sign of trouble that's coming upon the world. You know what I'm saying? Um, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Remember, Yahweh is at the right hand of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. You know, he is on the right hand side. All right. So, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So, this is a double entendre, by the way. You know what a double entendre is? It's a double meaning. So, those arrows, if you, what's the closest thing to a bow and arrow. It would be missiles. So that's the mystery. That's the mystery of part of the scriptures. The arrows, particularly in this part, is talking about the missiles. When you look at a missile, it looks like the arrow. That's the Lord's arrow. You know what I'm saying? So the double entendre of when it says when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, America is the most hated country on the planet. I think it's in Revelation 17 and 18. It talks about Mystery Babylon, that great whore that fornicated with all nations and made them drink of the wine. So everybody hates Babylon. So, and when you think about it, if you're in the Eastern Hemisphere, when something is shot from the Eastern Hemisphere, those arrows is shot into the ends of the world, which is on the Western Hemisphere where Babylon the Great is at. So that's one part. Now the second part, when it says when I was saying about the double entendre, when it says shot into the ends of the world, ain't we at the end of the world? So that's the double meaning right there. It's shot from the ends of the world, from the Eastern Hemisphere against Babylon, but also in the end of the world on where we at. All right. So let's continue. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. So those plagues are out. They're not going back. A lot of people think these viruses just going to come and go for good. Oh, it's just a part of life. It's nothing that's been happening. But we are in a true last days where when I keep reading, you'll see it. And if you heard about it, that's cool, but let's hear it again. But those plagues are not going to return back. So these plagues, these different viruses and stuff, they're going to increase more and more than in a way that humanity has never seen before. All right. So let me continue to read. The fire is kindled, and this is verse 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. You know, something I was thinking about real quick. Bear with me one moment. Um, okay, don't worry about it. But the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. So once again, this is the Lord saying, once He starts something, His word doesn't come back to Him void. Things are going to do what it has to do, and then He's going to return it back at an appointed time. You know, the Most High doesn't renege on His word. When He says something, it happens. All right. So verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, return it not backward. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. So let's read that again. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returning not backward. The Lord's word is the same way as I read in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. His word is like that arrow. It doesn't return back to Him void. These plagues is going to do what it got to do, and it's not going to return back until it's accomplished. And like verse 15 said, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. He's not going to call it back until it does what it have to do. Hopefully I said that correctly. All right. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua can deliver you, and you need to be seeking Him out today. The Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and His Son is Yahushua. The only way to the Father is through Yahushua. So ain't no other way of deliverance. Only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua can deliver you, Israelites. Specifically y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua died for the Israelites, because we the ones that's under the curses still to this day. Them constant transgressions of the law is what put us under these curses. So ain't no tarot cards, no witchcraft, none of that is going to be able to deliver you. Your partners, your gang, whoever, ain't going to be able to deliver you in these troubling times that's coming. Just not going to happen. So verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So I got some for that. I got a precept for that. Um, let me see. Let me see. Here you go. Isaiah 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. This is the time to do it. I'm going to go back to what it said in 2nd Esdras. At the end of verse 18, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Seek the Lord while his face may be found. You know, the the great troubles, we in the beginning of those great troubles, but the beginning of this ain't gonna be the beginning forever. Prophecies is moving fast because the days is moving fast. The time is shorter for the elect's sake. So we're not gonna be in the beginning forever. So this is the time, fellow Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, by the seed of their fathers, seek the Lord today. Don't seek him. Don't try to look for him next year, because at any moment, if you in the correct spirit, this might seem negative if you carnal, but there's nothing wrong with having joy in life. But in the times that we in, you need to be in the spirit of, at any second of the day, the Most High can say, you know what, Babylon is done. Let's just get these destructions going. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be seeking the Lord right. You need to be seeking Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai right now. Do not wait till next week. Remember, tomorrow is not promised. You don't know what the tomorrow gonna be like for you. Nobody knows what tomorrow looks like. Only Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai knows that. So you need to be seeking them out today, every day, nonstop. All right. So let me continue. And by the way, I might break this video down. I might break 2nd Esdras 16 down between 2 and 3 parts. All right. So let me go to verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. So let me look up scourges. I know what it means, but we're gonna do it for you. Scourges. Scourge definition. A severe affliction, a devastating pestilence, or a whip used for punishment. You know, just saw something. Let me see something. What is the meaning of a scourge in the Bible? You see that. To whip or flog severely as a form of corporal punishment or torture. All right. So the scourges for amendment is for the Israelites to straighten yourselves up, to bring you into repentance. Scourges for amendment. He bringing these troubles to make you turn to him, but you need to be seeking him now, because if you ain't seeking him now, most likely, I can't speak for everybody. If you ain't seeking the Lord now, it's gonna be too late to seek him then. You're gonna be too busy trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? That'll be the last thing on your mind, then it'll be too late. So, like I was reading once again in Isaiah 55, verse 11, seek ye the Lord while his face may be found. You need to be doing it now to get under his wing, fellow Israelites. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to wait till these plagues and these famines. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but most people, and they got a line right under this, most people ain't gonna be looking. People gonna be looking to survive when these troubles increase like never before. So okay, verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. You see what I'm saying? So, like I read in verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But even then, so when the Most High sent all these troubles upon Babylon the Great, his people still ain't gonna turn back, is what he's saying. His people still ain't gonna repent and turn to him either way. And they're not gonna be mindful of the scourges. They're gonna have no idea what the hell is going on. Why is these things happening? So that's why you gotta always keep up with these prophecies, and you need to watch these prophets too. Like Great Millstone. I know that sounded funny when I said that, but you need to keep up with them brothers. Them brothers got the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't read these scriptures. You need teachers, to show you these scriptures, the proper way. So verse 21, behold, victuals is, food and whatnot. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So, did y'all catch that? So, at some point, we also in a time of great deception. So, trying to process my thoughts when I pause like that, y'all bear with me. So, pretty much what it's saying, just what it said, we live in deceptive times. So, people are going to be thinking at some point, we don't know the day or hour, but food going to become extremely cheap. People going to think they're in good case. So, I got a precept for that, by the way. When it says Salakia, y'all, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right, so this reminds me of one verse, and I think it's 1 Thessalonians 5. I think 1 Thessalonians. Surprised I don't have it saved. That's crazy. It's in my other phone. My bad, y'all. Hold up. 1 Thessalonians 5. Let me see. Here we go. So you know how I just read to you, the victual is gonna be so cheap, they think they're gonna be in good case. This reminds me of this verse in a sense. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So that kind of reminds me of that. When it says they shall think to be themselves to be in good case, or they think things is people think the things is good, the food is things is going good because the victuals are cheap now. But that reminds me of that. That's gonna catch people off guard. Like if the gas prices go down, the food becomes all of a sudden cheaper. That reminds me of 1 Thessalonians 5, that peace and safety. So you got to be aware of that in these times. We definitely in some deceptive times. You got to be careful with starting with Esau, Edom. They're the main ones of that great deception. They'll trick you into thinking things is good. All right, so let's continue. For many of them, verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others shall escape the hunger, shall the sword destroy. So y'all, I hope y'all got that. That's kind of simple, but um, I'm gonna read that again for y'all. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others shall escape the hunger, shall the sword destroy. So, funny thing about this line, you know how I read at the this is verse 8. So I'm gonna go back to verse 18, right? I just read 22 for y'all. I'm gonna go to verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So the reason why I read 18 again for y'all, a lot of people think having a lot of food. Now nothing is wrong with preparing at all. Like getting food and getting weapons, but we are heading into perilous time. We're heading into the worst time that man has ever seen before. You know what I'm saying? So it clearly said, even if you escape the famine, you're gonna die by the sword, and vice versa. There is no escape unless you of the elect, by the way. That had to be said. The elect is, so there are two elects, and I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm explaining that. Anybody watch this video. Um, there were two elects. The Israelites are the original elect. Elect means chosen. The Israelites are the Lord's chosen people. But in these last days, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is only dealing with a remnant. Okay? So most likely, if you and I are not of the elect, we cook. But that doesn't mean that the elect won't die. But um I would go into that. Um I'm trying to think, y'all. I'm trying to process something for this video. You know what I'm saying? But let me continue. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is only dealing with the elect. So let's go there anyway. I'll just go there for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, Look, Matthew 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So that's one of the reasons for the acceleration of time. I hope I'm not throwing y'all off, but I'm just trying to put together an edifying video. You know, whether you heard it before, and it's even better if you haven't heard of this before. This just to get you ready, get you ready for the times that we coming upon. Because a lot of people think um, that these things are so far out, even though we don't know the day or hour that these things are going to begin. But you can see the setup. You can see the mark of the beast about to be set up. Um, I think they had a channel called with a black man called Indisputable or something like that. They're talking about the prisoners about to be chipped. And that's in Revelations 13, 16, verse 17. The mark of the beast, the charagma, is about to become a thing. Even though this has been foretold for thousands of years, the mark of the beast is finally here. So they starting with the prisoners. Next thing you know, it's going to be all over Babylon, and it's going to be global, just as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said it would be. All right. But so let me see. Let me see what else I can say. But yeah, man, a lot of people just think a lot of people don't understand the the troubles that's about to come upon everybody. So, verse 22 again, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So even if you survive the famine, pretty much what they saying, you're gonna get killed either way. And they got a verse. I just read that not too long ago. Let me go find that real quick. Let me see something. Um, Damn it. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know if it's matter of fact. This is not what I was looking for, but to go more with this video of Second Esdras, verse 16. I mean, not verse 16, chapter 16. My bad, y'all. Salakia. Look, Jeremiah 30 and 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Only the elect, whosoever that may be of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? If you of the elect, you shall be saved out of it. Let me continue, man, because I don't want to throw y'all off. Hopefully this video will be edifying when I'm done. This, like I said, this is going to be part one. So anyways, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So this is talking about that desolation that's coming. But before that desolation, before that true desolation of Babylon, the mark of the beast has to be set up first. There's no way it's going to be desolation and then the mark of the beast comes after. So let me see something. Um, you know what, guys? I'm going to end it right there. So this is going to be part one. I will continue with part two. I have to. All right, so hopefully that is edifying. Until next time, like very soon, I have to. So shalom. And want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Shalom, y'all.